NFL brings us to one of our favorite spots, venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Bears team entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage, it'll be back at the 36. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He can make a man or two. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Everson Griffin in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. First down. Here's Cousins. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Cousins on 1st down. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Those are the numbers from Rudolph from last week's game. 9 catches, 113 yards, and a score.
And most teams mark down big plays as ones that gain 10 yards or more. He certainly has big playability, and we just saw it on display.
They go play action here on 1st down. Leonard Floyd in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he's got his man Hilton. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives them a new set of downs. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Cousins to throw it. Open man is Thielen is complete. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Pass interference. Defense.
And since the penalty occurred in the end zone, move the ball to the 1-yard line.
1st and goal from the 1-yard line. Costly penalty.
Throwing his Cousins. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
He'll get it up the middle, and this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy is disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a 2nd guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays. Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
You sound like you're going negative on me.
I was.
Sounds like you're thinking the 3's just not that good.
People say we're negative sometimes. So.
Well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down. We spent so much time talking about the physical side of the game. How about the mental side? They just gave up a field goal, but they didn't get down at all. Big-time return. They're set up to try and at least tie the game up.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. The numbers for Washington in last week's contest, he was no doubt a key piece to their puzzle in that victory.
And when this offense plays well, you just know he's going to be in the middle of everything, don't you? I mean, defense is going to say, we've got to take this guy away. He doesn't allow himself to be taken away, does he?
Escaping the pressure right. And he's got some space here. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. 1st down, 18-yard gain.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football. But how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for him.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's caught right at the 10-yard line. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
They'll try to run it in, going option right. And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
They'll drop the throw. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Dancing, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Emerson Griffin in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game. And now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. On 3rd down, Cousins. Incomplete. Right side to tight end Rudolph. Cousins to his tight end Rudolph for a Viking first down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Cousins going to come up on a 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. Working out of the gun, Cousins. He's going to loft one deep left side here. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Now Cook. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Cousins. He'll find Thielen work in the middle. And he'll go down at the 28. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Many teams, as soon as they spot man defense, if they haven't called a hitch, they'll get to it as fast as they can. They want to put the ball in the hands of one of their best playmakers and hope that he can break a tackle on the outside and go for big yardage.
And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. And they just keep marching right along. 1st down on a pickup of 8 there.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up first and goal.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
They'll run with Cook. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits. Everyone.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. Extra point put through by Succop. And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
Oh, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive. And how about that last decisive run to punch it in?
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want a drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They'll set up to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on. Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in. Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Able to get away. He can run for it, and he will. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And this belongs to the Vikings. And great effort. Does he get burned for that in film? He fought through some tackles. End result, though, a fumble. It's going to be one of those situations where he'll get yelled at about the fumble, but at the same time get a check mark for the extra effort. And so it's one of those tough, tricky things for coaches. You don't want to coach it out of them so much that you take away the effort. You just want them to be conscious of taking care of the football. A nice carry there of 15 yards. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Soldier Field following this short break. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying. It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done. Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. On 2nd down, Cousins again. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete.
And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Call it a gain of 5, and that's going to bring up a third down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. To the air again, it's Cousins. And he's got it. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
They'll run for it with Cook. And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line. And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and goal. Cousins. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. In for the score. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the 2nd half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Daniil Hunter in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. That's number 4, sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case, because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And he's going to go down again. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Here's Pat O'Donnell now, as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And a fair catch called for and taken right on the midfield stripe. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And a little floater there is incomplete. Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, I think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Big Eddie Goldman there on the tackle.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now Cousins. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Third and long for Cousins. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Well, he bounced up after taking a sack and took a shot downfield. I think a lot of us thought maybe he'd run draw in that situation instead. Tried to get all back in one play.
Yeah, third and long. Thought he needed the deep pass. Couldn't connect it.
Maybe he was hoping for a penalty downfield to give him the yardage they needed.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up in the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They're going to look to throw. Flush to his right. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
This is Howard on 2nd down. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
On 1st, they go right back to Howard. And down inside the 15 he goes. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Escapes the sack. Staying on his feet. Shakes off the sack. But he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Second and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack.
Here we go now.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now.
I know in every game we do, we talk about momentum. That was a momentum play lost. And now there could be a letdown because they didn't get the interception.
Yeah, you could almost hear the collective gasp on the sideline as he could not come up with that football. This Minnesota D up to the task on the third down pass play. And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
Not only did they drop what looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
And Hopkins' kick is good. And a second field goal here gets them back within 11 now. It's 17-6. So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing. All right, they didn't play particularly well in the first half, but they definitely need them to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now out comes Minnesota. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, there's something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Again, it's Cook. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. Room here to run. Still fighting for more. He's still on his feet. That one good for 33 and a first.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now a play fake here on first down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. Remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck roll that they can fall back on anymore.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Handoff comes to Cook. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Kyle Fuller, the one to make the tackle.
Well, he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
The Vikings on third down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Leonard Floyd in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
And that's the 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. They'll begin the drive with Howard. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Andrew Sendejo in on the stop.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I've got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. They'll set up the screen to Howard. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
They'll look to throw here. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there at 22. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really...
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Holding. Defense.
Wait a second. They did not accept that after the incompletion. What? Your look is just as puzzled as mine.
I got nothing for you here. You have to take that penalty, don't you?
It's 3 yards. Cook. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
Oh, and now he bowls him over. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They go play action here on first down. And Rudolph has it left side. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to swing the tight end free downfield for the completion.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that. Back now at Soldier Field. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. They run it again with Cook. And he'll take this one down near the 15. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave them with still about 8 or 9 to go on third down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up in the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete. And the third down pass falls incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Set! 3-19! 3-19! Detroit! Detroit!
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he'll take this back down inside the 20.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Throwing, Cousins. That is caught at the 7. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. A solid pickup at 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, 4th quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Throwing is Cousins. And it's caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
2nd and goal from the 1.
Yellow, 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 yellow.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want.
And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Kirk Cousins, his 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Now, they went draw play there on 3rd down around the goal line, something you normally like to see, Charles?
Oftentimes, people are prepared for a pass in this situation, so the draw is a good call, but it's better when you usually have a lead blocker. If you don't have a fullback, you can use your H-back to pull in front. Sometimes you pull a guard to get out in front. Maybe it's your tight end, but they find a way to create a little bit of extra space. A bit of a surprise down near the goal line, but it was effective in this situation.
Extra point up and good by Suckup. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now here's Suckup out to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete and almost intercepted. It would have been his 2nd pick of the game. Instead, it'll be 2nd down. They'll set up a throw. Flushed out right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Daniil Hunter. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Here we go. 3-19.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it is incomplete. The Bears tried it on 4th down, unable to convert. And now the football is going to go over, already being placed at the 15-yard line. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. This is Cook, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up Losing 3 yards here, and it'll be 3rd down. Cousins to throw it. This is caught. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop him here.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Extra point put through by Suckup. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey,
the Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Everson Griffin in there to get him, and that is sack number 15 for him on the year.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect it. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down.
Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march off another 15 against your squad.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards on the play. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Hurry up, here we go.
On 1st and 10, Schmidt. Miller on the catch over the middle. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. From the gun, Schmidt. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
To throw on 2nd down. Schmidt, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this belongs to the Vikings.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the 4th quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. They start the drive with Cook. And he stopped immediately there. Eddie Jackson with a tackle. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here, 3rd and 14. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. 3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And not much there at all as he'll get this only up to about the 11. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Here's Lachlan Edwards now. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Let's go! Green 39! Green 39!
Back to the air on 2nd down. Schmidt, and this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. The result of 1st down is the quick slant gets him 14. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now.
The pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Everson Griffin in there to drop him, and he continues to wreak havoc in offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards. On 1st down, Schmidt. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. As they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Operating from the gun, Schmidt. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down. Throwing on 1st down, Schmidt. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a 1st down.
Foul. Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game.
Here we go now.
On 1st and 10, Schmidt. Over the middle, it's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down. On 1st down, Schmidt eluding the nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this belongs to the Vikings. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week, because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help them improve.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you prime the